And let's get back to our top story in the Middle East. The preemptive airstrikes by Israel that hammered Iran early Friday morning will continue for, quote, as many days as it takes to remove the threat. That promise directly from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That attack prompting Iran to launch a retaliatory operation that included more than 100 drones. Some of the casualties, top military officials in Iran, according to Iranian state media. Now, Netanyahu says he's been holding talks since the wee hours of the morning. The leaders on the other end of the line include the Chancellor of Germany, the Prime Minister of India, and the President of France. Later, he will speak to President Donald Trump. Now, President Trump sounding off on the situation on the ground with this Truth Social post. He says, quote, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. Former U.S. Ambassador to Israel Daniel Shapiro says, quote, all presidents face foreign policy dilemmas, and they often come with tough political choices. Trump has his now. Does he go with Tucker Carlson and accept a weak Iran deal, or listen to Mark Levin and keep a military option on the table to prevent a nuclear Iran? Ambassador Daniel Shapiro joins us now live on the show. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. Given what's happening right now, which route do you say is the best for the U.S. to take here?
Well, first, the United States, Liz, is going to absorb what Israel has accomplished. These are extremely impressive strikes across a broad array of the Iranian system, nuclear sites, ballistic missile sites, Iranian military and IRGC leadership eliminated. So first, they have to see what Israel has accomplished. And it's quite significant. But they also have to see what Iran will try to do in response. The initial response you mentioned of 100 drones is just the first attempt. Iran will certainly try, if it can, to muster a more expansive response against Israel, perhaps with ballistic missiles. But the real question that the administration will face is what to do if Iran decides this is the moment it must rush to break out and achieve a nuclear weapon. Iran has been inching closer and closer to that status. That's why Israel felt it had to act now. It still retains sufficient enriched uranium and centrifuges that it could do that. And if it did that, it might present President Trump with the ultimate decision: would the United States intervene with its unique capabilities to prevent Iran from doing that?
Israel's United Nations Ambassador Danny Danon spoke last hour about the reason for the attack. I want to play what he had to say and get your take on the other side.
Intelligence obtained by Israel revealed a secret program to develop all necessary parts of a bomb: uranium enrichment, triggering mechanisms, and warhead delivery systems. According to the latest IAEA reports, Iran now has enough material for multiple nuclear weapons and has moved dangerously close to operational capability. What's more, Israel uncovered clear evidence that the Iranian regime was planning a surprise attack in coordination with their proxies. They had planned to invade from all sides, with thousands of terrorists and thousands of projectiles.
Now, the IAEA put out a statement before Danon took the mic saying, quote, this development is deeply concerning, adding that nuclear facilities must never be attacked, regardless of context or circumstances. I want to get your reaction to this, sir.
Well, what the ambassador said is certainly true, that Iran had now advanced, and the IAEA confirmed this, to have nearly 10 nuclear weapons worth of highly enriched uranium, 60% enriched, which if it were enriched to 90%, which Iran is more than capable of in a short period of time, they would be able to produce that many nuclear weapons. And also that Iran has been advancing its research on actually building a weapon, which is separate from the enrichment process. So the risk of not acting was that Iran would cross one of those thresholds, and suddenly we would be placed with a very different situation. Iran with the ability to deter any attack against it by threatening to retaliate with nuclear weapons. So this was a very important moment, and Israel felt that it really couldn't wait. Otherwise, we could be faced with Iran with a kind of deterrence that would make it immune from this kind of attack.